That's what we feel void in. We feel like our life is for no one and nothing. And that's what this reality has become, the level of separation. Right now, if we were connected, and it's exactly the same, we have coronavirus, right? Everybody has the virus, but you know all of your neighbors, every single person here, you know who they are, their names, some little fact about them or something funny. We will feel more
Safe
life force
and
energy.
safe.
It's not even safe because we might actually feel more worried because holy shit, all of our family, all of our friends could die, right? Something horrible can happen to them. That's why it's hard to love in this world. Like I love snow because you worry, but simultaneously we would not feel, like I said, the reality we were in, we just felt dead already. Like the life force energy wasn't, we were on an autopilot repetition. It's a small world after all. Like that's what it was. And even through, let's say, if we knew people and our friends are dying, but we're seeing like how we're all coming together to hold each other in those moments and help another even cross over if that's what it's coming to. And they're saying some last words that we pass on for generations because they learned something through that experience. It would be different. The whole thing here, what did they say to you? You're born alone, you die alone. That doesn't have to be. The self is a collective. It's barely functioning because it's not functioning as a collective. That's why we even don't live long enough. It's because we just don't have the life force which comes through connection. The more connection you have,
It's like a net, you see. That's what happened to our brain. When you look at the brain, the nerves, how disconnected they are.
people will say, right? Because right away the thought pops in, if it's true what I just said, then why did people die when, in the history they used to die earlier? They were in collectives. That's only because they were in an even darker reality on this our reported Earth history, which doesn't report back to Atlantis, Lemuria, all those things, but our, supposed history is some of the darkest times on Earth. So even if people were together, they actually amplified their own suffering, which now is interesting that we're put in a quarantine, like a timeout, which is an important, it's like a process where we can disconnect from the collective energy which became its own form of parasite, so we could like hear our own voice, our own tune, and not connect just by being physically, everybody's like, a lot of people acting like they're suffering so much, like, oh, I can't, be next to people, oh, we're so isolated, but they don't realize, like, oh my god, like I've been at the store standing next to people, I don't remember any of their faces, I don't know who they are, they're like a dream, like I actually, funny, during this whole quarantine, I know more of my neighbors by face now. People have been more, the few that are, like, are saying hi or offering to help with the box or whatever. Through intimacy. You see, it's like intimacy, and then it's like intimacy is not about the sex. True intimacy to be seen, but then intimacy with a physical type of, you know, that even amplifies it. And of course, that's also why it's used in the 3D for the opposite, dark energy. This reality now is a manifestation of lack of intimacy. What can be more lack of intimacy than sitting in a boxed room with cottage cheese ceiling, a black flat box on the wall, and watching a life that's not yours because your own is so like empty.